So, Breanne, do you want to round us up in terms of the themes that come to your mind?
Right now, when we think of all of our stocks that we've mapped to themes, so again, we're talking AI, modern defense, obviously, which has done really, really well in 2025, genomics. Over 50% of those equities that we're capturing and we see are being powered or involved in really powerful secular growth trends that are, 10-year, 20-year type cycles, they are trading above the 5-year max of their respective regional sector benchmarks. So premiums are migrating to innovation. Premiums are migrating. Now, those stocks also are showing really high earnings growth expectations, right? There's definitely backed by something, but we are basically seeing the sector binds that tie, right? Those traditional ones that have been out there in the market, they're starting to disintegrate. And investors are investing in a very different way and eyeing the market from a much more what we believe to be thesis-driven approach. So that's going to change the way your portfolio is built, right? You've maybe traditionally looked at a sector allocation. Well, if everybody's migrating away from a traditional sector allocation and more towards a thesis-driven or thematic allocation model, that's going to change the way how these equities trade together. So it's not that it's mispriced. I think that we're just at a really interesting inflection point where investors are eyeing the landscape differently. The other thing that I'm watching really, really closely in the work we do, we look across public equities. I track funds really closely as to how the ETF landscape is contributing and how people are participating in thematic investing through the ETF landscape. I also track private companies that we also view as being thematically inclined or involved in the themes that we're tracking on the public and also in the ETF space. We are seeing a rising liquidity in the secondaries market. So this is where I'm going to punch you on alternatives, is this shift of more and more investors really seeking to dive more heavily towards alternatives in many different ways. I think that that investor appetite is actually, again, going to be shifting the way public markets are trading, the way investors are engaging in private markets, unlocking potential opportunity there, or potentially increasing risk there as well. All of this is meaning that we're at a really interesting inflection point, I think, for portfolio management. And I think that has the capacity to actually have a decent impact on how markets actually evolve.